Yesterday, or the day before, I can't remember which it was, I took you on a walk that was on trails that were wide enough for logging equipment to drive on. Today we're on the other side of town, and we're on much smaller hiking trails, so the paths are much narrower, but I wanted to give you a sense of what this looked like as well. You can see the boy up ahead having fun. We're just on our way home. We've actually been walking for about 2.5 hours now. So he's looking forward to getting home and sleeping. Come here. Good boy. Yeah, much narrower. And you have to be so careful not to fall down the hill or off the path. Falling up isn't a problem because, yeah, it's just too steep to fall up the hill. We were in an open area, now we're just heading into a tighter canopy, so it'll be a little bit darker, and I think the light will probably come on the camera so we can see where we're going. It doesn't really give you a sense of how dark it is in here when the light comes on in the camera. Come here. Come and say hello. Come on. Round. And there he is. Okay. You have to be careful of footing here because there are so many tree roots sticking out of the path. Now, the one thing I haven't told you before is there are wild boars in the forest, and that's why I keep calling him back, because I don't have him on a lead. I want him to get lots of exercise, but as soon as his nose goes in the air, I know he's picked up something. And the other day we lost him for about a half an hour while he went crashing through the bush, and we could hear something as well, so I don't know whether he found rabbits or some large bird, or if he was on the trail of wild boars. And nose up in the air now. Yeah, you stick around. Yeah, oops, that was a trip. Hard to hold a camera and walk down this path at the same time. Okay, so we're almost out of the canopy area, and you'll see as soon as that happens, we're in some farmer's field, because all of the hiking trails here go through farmers' fields. And hikers just have to be vigilant about ensuring if they're opening and closing, or they're opening gates, that they're closing on the way back through. None of the hikes that I've been on so far this week have gone through areas where animals are actually grazing. I've been beside them, but last time we were here, we actually went through an area where sheep were grazing, so we had to open the fence at one side and then walk through the sheep and close the fence at the other side. but I haven't been that fortunate this time. Okay, so now we've come out of the canopy. It'll be a little bit brighter, but still a nice narrow footpath all through here. And we're getting closer to town. We're getting closer to the bottom of the mountain. I'm just gonna turn. Can't really see, so that's another mountain over there. The valley's in between. It's hard to see through the trees. We're coming through a canopied area again. This is what it looks like down the bottom and up the top. Trees, 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 and more trees. And a little black dog. Good boy. Okay, I think that's enough for this part of the walk. So I'm back, and now I've come to the point in the trail where we pop out into a farmer's field and go across it, although there are no animals here today. So you can see that there's one side of the fence, the other side. The trail goes around there by where Clarence is. And then this is a pasture. And down here, this is a pasture. And there are more pastures below that. But what would happen is the animals would be up here, and then they would get brought down. That would be closed off, and then this opens up, and they're in that area. You can actually see a little white down there. I think that's the farmhouse way down there. Yeah, you just go walking through here, and this is, last time I was here, this is where I played with sheep for a while, because they were actually in this pasture. And there's little places you can sit down along the way. And you can just walk for hours and hours and hours here. Okay, I'm going to be back when we're closer to the bottom and we can see houses. You'll get a sense of how close the start of this trail is to our house. Okay, see you in a bit. Oh, and we're getting closer to home. I'm just going to turn it off. You can probably see a bit more in terms of buildings. If you remember from the previous video, if you watched that hike all the way from Oberprechter to Elsack, I had turned around and said, our house is behind me somewhere, and you can see a crane in behind it. I don't know if you can see here. There's the crane, and they're working on a big building right across the street from our house. I'm just going to come to this lookout place. Come here, dog. Come on. So this big building here was a medical clinic, a rehab place. You can't see our house because it's on the other side of that. You can see town in behind us. But as long as I've been coming here, so what, 12, 14 years, that thing has been empty and they've been working on it. So nobody really knows what's going on. Anyway, a little bit further, and this will come out in behind all the houses on our street. So I'll turn the camera back on when I get there. Okay, I'm back. So we're right above town now. Our street ends at the start of this trail. But you can see there are houses there. And we're almost at the end. There are actually several trails that start at the end of this road. Fahlenstrasse, and this is one of them. There's one that leads across town. There's one that leads part way up one mountain. One goes the other way. So that's where we just came from. There's one there. There's another one there, past those logs. And then there's another one there. And there's town. And here's our street. Come here. I just have to put the dog on a leash.